Welcome to Space Mysteries, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. August 1st, 2025. President Trump has just detonated a new era in global trade, sending shockwaves through the international community and upending decades of economic cooperation. In a move that stunned both allies and rivals, he slapped sweeping tariffs on America's closest partners, targeting imports that have long flowed freely across borders. The United States is rewriting the rules, claiming to protect American jobs and industries that have struggled to compete with foreign goods. The administration argues these tariffs are necessary to restore balance and revive domestic manufacturing. But for countries like Canada, it feels like a stunning betrayal, an unexpected blow from a neighbor and friend. The sense of shock is palpable as leaders and citizens alike grapple with the new reality. Canada, long the U.S.'s reliable partner, is now hit with a staggering 35% tariff, an economic earthquake north of the border. The Canadian dollar tumbles, and businesses brace for impact as cross-border trade grinds to a halt. This isn't just a trade dispute. For Canadians, it's personal, a rupture in decades of trust and cooperation. Protests erupt in major cities, and families worry about jobs, prices, and the future of their livelihoods. The U.S. hopes these tariffs will force other nations to the negotiating table, but it's a high-stakes gamble that risks sparking a global trade war. World leaders scramble to respond, and financial markets reel from the uncertainty. Supply chains are rattled, alliances are strained, and uncertainty is the new normal. Everyday consumers begin to feel the pinch as prices rise and shelves empty, while businesses face tough choices. For Canada, the challenge is immense. Its largest trading partner has suddenly become its biggest economic adversary. The government scrambles to find solutions, holding emergency sessions and seeking new partners. The world is watching. How will Canada respond to this checkmate move, and what will it mean for the global order? Allies and rivals alike are weighing their next steps, knowing the stakes could not be higher. The stage is set for a dramatic showdown, with the future of international trade and the balance of power hanging in the balance. Let's break down the impact of Trump's sweeping tariffs, which have sent shockwaves through the global economy and upended decades of established trade norms. Canada, America's closest trading partner, faces a crippling 35% tariff, an unprecedented move that threatens to shut down cross-border businesses overnight. Small towns that rely on trade are already feeling the squeeze, with some businesses forced to lay off workers or close their doors entirely. The EU, Japan, and South Korea are hit with 15% tariffs, signaling a total reset of U.S. trade relationships. These countries, longtime allies, now find themselves scrambling to respond, as their exports become suddenly less competitive in the American market. The pain is targeted too. Copper imports now face a staggering 50% tariff, sending shockwaves through industries from construction to electronics. Manufacturers warn that higher copper costs will ripple through supply chains, raising prices for everything from wiring in new homes to the latest smartphones. The U.S. has also axed the de minimis exemption, meaning every small package from abroad is now taxed. Bad news for online shoppers and e-commerce giants. Suddenly, buying a single gadget or a pair of shoes from overseas comes with a hefty new price tag, and businesses that rely on global supply chains are scrambling to adjust. Stock markets are reeling, and companies like Procter & Gamble and Harley-Davidson warn of hundreds of millions in losses. Investors are jittery, and the uncertainty is making it harder for businesses to plan for the future. These costs will trickle down to consumers as higher prices, inflation by another name. Everyday essentials, from groceries to household goods, are getting more expensive, squeezing family budgets across the country. This isn't just a fight with foreign countries, it's a tax on the American people. For many, the impact is immediate and personal, as paychecks don't stretch as far and uncertainty grows. The global economy is already feeling the aftershocks. Currencies are fluctuating, and international markets are bracing for more volatility as the trade war escalates. Businesses scramble to adapt, and uncertainty reigns. Some are rethinking their supply chains, while others are putting investments on hold, waiting to see what happens next. The US is betting it can force better deals, but the collateral damage is mounting. Factories are idled, jobs are at risk, and the political fallout is just beginning. For millions, the tariff war is no longer an abstract policy. It's hitting home. Families are making tough choices, and communities are rallying to support those hardest hit. The world braces for what comes next, as leaders and citizens alike wonder how long the pain will last, and who will pay the highest price. In Canada, the sudden imposition of a 35% tariff has ignited not just outrage, but a powerful sense of unity among citizens from coast to coast. The shock waves are being felt in every province as people grapple with the reality of this new economic threat. Talk shows and headlines are ablaze with calls for action. Every radio and television station is flooded with passionate voices demanding answers and solutions. Prime Minister Mark Carney calls it an unjustifiable attack, vowing to defend Canadian interests and stand up to what he describes as a betrayal by a close ally. This isn't just about economics. It's a deep sense of betrayal from a trusted friend, a wound that cuts through decades of partnership and shared history. Canadians have fought alongside Americans, shared values, and built a unique partnership that has weathered many storms. Now, that legacy is under threat. Now that trust is shattered, fueling a fierce desire to push back. Across the nation, people are rallying together, determined to defend their country's dignity. The economic fallout is severe. 75% of Canadian exports go south, and key industries face devastation. The ripple effects threaten to upend entire communities and livelihoods. Factories and farms are at risk, and job losses loom. Families worry about their future, and small businesses brace for the worst as uncertainty grows. But the pain isn't one way. U.S. businesses and consumers will feel it too. Supply chains are disrupted, shelves are emptier, and prices are rising on both sides of the border. Canada is cornered, but national pride and defiance are surging. People are coming together, united by a renewed sense of purpose and patriotism. The government faces pressure to retaliate, signaling the end of quiet diplomacy. Leaders are weighing their options, knowing the world is watching. Canadians demand a strong response. The calls for action grow louder, echoing through the streets and the halls of power. The relationship is at a breaking point. Decades of cooperation are now overshadowed by tension and mistrust. A dramatic confrontation is inevitable. The world watches as two close allies stand on the brink of a crisis that could reshape their future. As diplomats scramble, ordinary Canadians are taking action. A grassroots boycott of American goods is sweeping the country, with #BoycottUSA trending everywhere. People are ditching U.S. brands, canceling trips south, and choosing Canadian products. Grocery stores highlight local goods. Social media buzzes with lists of Canadian alternatives. The boycott's economic impact is debated, but its symbolism is powerful. It's a message to American companies and the U.S. government. Your actions have consequences. This isn't the first boycott, but the scale and intensity are unprecedented. The movement taps into Canadian identity and a desire for independence. It could permanently shift consumer habits and strengthen Canadian brands. The trade war is now being fought in shopping carts and checkout lines. Canadians are making it clear they won't be bullied. Amid the turmoil, a radical idea is gaining traction. What if Canada joined the European Union? It sounds far-fetched, but some argue it's time to seek new allies and markets. The EU offers a massive, stable market and shared values, an appealing contrast to an unpredictable US. The obstacles are huge: geography, complex regulations, and questions of sovereignty. Critics call it a pipe dream, but the fact it's being discussed shows how deeply shaken Canada feels. The Trump tariffs have cracked the foundation of Canada's identity as America's partner. Canada is searching for a new path forward, no matter how bold. To grasp Canada's anger, you need to understand its unique bond with the U.S. The two share the world's longest non-militarized border and deeply integrated economies. Supply chains cross the border countless times: cars, energy, and more. A tariff here isn't like one with Japan. It's like taxing your own neighbor. The Trump tariffs ignore this reality, treating Canada as just another rival. Canada now must defend a partnership its ally seems determined to dismantle. The future of this special relationship hangs in the balance. Canada's main defense is CUSMA, the free trade deal meant to guarantee tariff-free access to the U.S. But the Trump administration has found ways around it, citing national security to impose tariffs anyway. Steel and aluminum were just the start. Now, even CUSMA can't guarantee protection. Canada has a strong legal case, but political power is trumping legal agreements. The shield is full of holes, and Canada must find a way to make it effective again. The challenge forced the U.S. to honor its commitments. The rules of the game are being rewritten in real time. With the deadline here, hopes for a quick deal are fading. Negotiations are tangled in conflicting interests and deep mistrust. The U.S. wants global leverage. Canada wants to protect its unique partnership. Both sides are bracing for a long, difficult process. A rushed deal could backfire, so negotiators are buying time. The path forward demands creativity, patience, and compromise. Canada faces one of its greatest diplomatic challenges yet. The world is watching as Canada weighs its next move. Trump's tariffs were meant as checkmate, but Canada has options: retaliation, legal action, new alliances. A tit-for-tat trade war could drag on, hurting both sides. Or Canada could win a special exemption by proving the mutual damage. This is a defining moment, a test of Canada's resilience and will. The outcome is uncertain: checkmate, stalemate, or diplomatic breakthrough. One thing is clear: Canada is fighting for its economic sovereignty. The quiet neighbor has found its voice, and the world is paying attention.